Hi there everybody, this is David and welcome to New RPG News. We have a bunch of stuff to talk about today, from Dragon Quest to Final Fantasy to a new game by Yuji Horii and a new game by the series creator of Persona and Shin Megami Tensei, in addition to a whole bunch of other stuff. And I want to be going over all that stuff today with y'all, and I definitely do think it's worth the sub as you come and you join the party and you level on up with me. Thank you so much for your sub, your like, and your hype. It helps me out a ton. And before we do begin, I do want to let you know there will be no news next week. I know, very sad face. But I will be on vacation. I'm going to go on a cruise to the Caribbean, so, you know, I can't really broadcast news from the middle of the ocean. So yeah, there won't be any news, but there will be other videos that I do have planned for you, top 10s and cool things like that, and maybe something about Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, details beginning of the adventure. Yeah, it's launching on February the 5th. Okay, so it's a remake of Dragon Quest VII, as we all know, featuring significantly enhanced visuals and a reimagined story and a battle system compared to the original game in 2000. What begins as a journey sparked by a group of childhood friends' simple curiosity to collect mysterious stone tablets transformed into a grand adventure that will determine the world's fate. Venture forth on Dragon Quest VII Reimagined Epic Adventure. So, I played this game back in the day, and I've played it a million freaking times. I actually really like this game. I know it's super long. But yeah, I am so looking forward to this, and yeah, maybe some content from this game will be coming up. Who knows? It says that they're also adding story content like childhood vignettes, and the game now allows you to moonlight vocation during battles too. Yeah, a lot has changed, and I think that it's changed for the better, if I do say so myself. It's coming out for the PS5, Xbox, Switch, Switch 2, and PC worldwide on the 5th of February, and a demo is available, and the demo will the save will transfer on over to the full game as well. So, you know, you might as well play the demo and check it out. And here we are at the second story, and it's already news of the weird, or news that nobody asked for, or what is this? Who knows? A new version of the original Final Fantasy VII is coming to the PC. The old version is going to be delisted, but it will remain accessible to existing owners. So if you have the older version, that one is accessible, but you won't be able to buy the older version anymore. They say that it's coming out for an improved gameplay experience, but they don't actually say what that means. They don't say what the improved gameplay experience is. They don't give any details whatsoever about what's in this new version of the game. It says that if you already have it on Steam, you'll get the new version for free. The old version will be accessible, but it's going to be under the name Final Fantasy VII 2013 Edition. But then that 2013 edition will no longer be able to purchase, and the save data will not be compatible between the two versions. So again, it's kind of like, what? Why? Why are they doing this? You know, it's just kind of odd. Maybe they're doing it to, like, you know, make people not want to use mods. Maybe they're doing it for compatibility with new computers, but like there's older games on, you know, Steam that doesn't need this compatibility issue. I really don't know. Maybe they're doing it to add the speed up option or the invincibility option or things like that. I don't know, and we won't know until the company comes out and says just exactly what and why they are doing this. Utowarumono Past and Present Rediscovered launches on May the 28th for the PS5 and Switch 2 in Japan, but PC worldwide. So as of right now, the West is only getting a PC version. We are not getting a physical console version, but the good news is originally we weren't even going to be getting this game at all. So hey, we're getting a simultaneously worldwide release. Awesome. It says that the subtitle language support will include English, Japanese, and Chinese, but the console versions, if you were to import them, will only support Japanese. So, yeah, probably not be able to get this one on Play Asia, unfortunately. It talks about, you know, what you get in Japan right here. They're doing like a dual pack for both the games, all this kind of stuff. So yeah, it looks pretty amazing what they're getting over in Japan, but we ain't. Also, I did make a full video on this just the other day, going over what this series is, what Monochrome Mobius is, that's the first game, and what is going on here. But gosh, like, long story short, great freaking game. Super excited about this sequel. This is actually the finale of the Utowarumono series. There's 3 visual novel games, and then there is Monochrome Mobius, which is a traditional JRPG, and then this is a sequel to Monochrome Mobius, but they are prequels to the Utaramono visual novel trilogy. So yeah, like put that together in your head right now. So yeah. But it is a great game. So it says, the climax, as the shadow falls over Yamato once more, Ashito and friends set on a new adventure, and somewhere amid white mists, a long slumber approaches its end. This is actually a direct sequel to Monochrome Mobius. So if you haven't played the original game, now would be the time to do it. Unfortunately, it seems that the physical version of the game is out of print, but it is available, last I heard, for 60% off on the PlayStation Store. So if you want to buy it digitally, it is available there to check it out. I really thoroughly enjoyed Monochrome Mobius. Dragon Ball New Game Project Age 1000 has been announced, due out in 2027. Platforms were not announced, we don't know. But it does say it's a brand new Dragon Ball world and entirely original characters, all brought to life by Akira Toriyama, for a new game project set for 2027. Witness the debut of never-before-seen character designed by Akira Toriyama himself with the new Dragon Ball world Age 1000. That's not all. The Age 1000 project will introduce even more unique characters as the adventure unfolds. The world of Dragon Ball continues to expand. Stay tuned for what's next. It says the latest updates will be unveiled at the Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour in 2026 in the US on April 18th and 19th. So we're going to have to wait until then before we find out more about this, whether this is like a fighting game, an adventure game, or if it is a role-playing game. First we get Monarch, then we get Varley. Yay! Great games. Now we're getting Villain Code debut. Villain Code. The debut trailer, details, and screenshots. Yikes. New school RPG due out May 25th in Japan. We do not have a release date as far as for the West, but yikes! Again, if Monarch or Valet is anything to go by, steer clear. Okay, in the near future, humanity stands on the verge of extinction. One day, a strange phenomenon occurs in the Advon Resilience Research Academy City, which was established to deal with the impending doom. Monster creatures known as the Gems began attacking people, and at the same time the Academy City is sealed off by a mysterious bubble, leaving no means of escape to the outside. In this closed and desperate situation, each person is forced to confront the karma that they bear. What is the truth behind the strange phenomenon surrounding the Academy City? It then goes over the 4 playable characters, or I guess 5 or 6, okay, a lot of playable characters, 6 playable characters, and then it talks about the Shankara space-time. It's a dungeon-esque alternate dimension that embodies the 10 evil deeds of humanity. When people at the Academy mutate into gems, they create a Sankara space-time that stands in the way of protagonist and company in pursuit of the truth. Looking at this, it looks like corridors, just straight, long corridors. Like, yikes. The battle system is a fusion of real-time speed action and a multitude of factors. Players must utilize cooperation between the protagonist and his companions, as well as powerful special moves to take on formidable foes. Access the rapidly changing state of battle, quickly dissect skills, and gain the upper hand. So it looks like it's some sort of combination of action, turn-based. Looks like it's a lot more action than turn-based, though. We don't have an announcement as far as platforms or a release date for the West. If it's even coming out in the West, we do not know. Personally, like I said, I just don't think it's gonna be all that good, but, you know, please prove me wrong. I would really like for it to be good. I would love for it to be an amazing game. I just, if the pedigree is anything to go by. Right on back to my childhood, where I was 13 years old in middle school. We have a overview trailer for Virtual Boy Nintendo Classics. I never had a Virtual Boy. I remember reading about it in the Nintendo Power, and both me and my brother was like, ew, what is this? And then we found out that it wasn't even portable, and we're like, why would I ever get this? You know, like, I can play my Game Boy in the car, and I can play my SNES here in the loft. Why, like, where would I play this thing? Like, ugh. And then I was like, kept on like looking for maybe like one game that I might like, an RPG or something, and nothing ever came. And there was maybe 3 issues of Nintendo Power that actually spoke about the Virtual Boy, and then you never heard of the Virtual Boy again. This thing was dropped super quick. But anyway, looks like I think that this is interesting, not because of RPGs or anything, but because of this. Later on in 2026, some games that were never before released for the Virtual Boy are going to be coming out, like D-Hopper and Zero Racers, which is like a spin-off of F-Zero, which was a game that I actually played. I liked F-Zero back in the day. So yeah, also Jack Brothers is coming out too, which is a game by Atlas. Very, very rare. Get ready to boo and throw your tomatoes, cause this sucks. Okay, and also bear with me, because my god. Kazuma Kaniko's Tsukuyomi announced for the Switch, due out on April the 23rd. It's a premium deck-building tower dungeon game based off the free-to-play title Tsukuyomi the Divine Hunter. It's going to launch for the Switch on April the 23rd for $25. So far, so good. I guess, you know, it's a actual real game based upon a gacha game. So, okay, what's the wrong? Why am I booing? Why am I throwing tomatoes? Here we are. Okay. This features a brand new character, expanded story elements, and updated user interfaces, rebalanced gameplay, and new card art, along with 3,600 cards chosen in collaboration with the community from the original game. The returning cards were created by a generative AI model called AI Kaneko that would generate new art trained on works from the actual artist based on player actions and decisions within the original game. This game is an offline title, does not utilize generative AI to create new cards, however we have an update. It says, the original mobile and PC game did use generative AI to create the cards, and the Switch version takes those curated amount of AI cards from the previous game and includes them in the new game. But the Switch version isn't actually generating new AI, it's just using old AI. So basically, in the free game, you got AI, but now you're paying $25 to get AI. Crash and burn. Diablo veterans announced dark fantasy isometric action RPG Darkhaven for the PC, and because of course, a Kickstarter campaign is coming soon. Can't have a new game without a Kickstarter campaign attached to it now, can we? This returns to the genre's roots while pushing it forward with a fully dynamic, persistent world. It'll be available for PC via Steam. A release date was not yet announced, but it will launch first fully in early access. Darkhaven is a dark fantasy isometric action RPG set in the aftermath of a great and final collapse of civilization. Ancient empires have fallen, their ruins reclaimed by wilderness, monsters, and predatory supernatural forces. Designed for solo play, cooperative adventures, and high-stakes player-versus-player enabled realms, Darkhaven is set in a procedurally generated, fully dynamic, and persistent world. Terrain and structures are deformable and buildable, allowing players to dig through earth, tunnel through dungeon walls, drain lakes to uncover buried ruins, redirect lava flows to reshape battlefields, or rebuild shattered fortresses. That's pretty cool, if I do say so myself. Seasons change, weather alters combat and traversal, and world-altering events leave permanent scars. Every action contributes to a shared, evolving history. Like, that seems pretty cool. It also seems like a lot, so hopefully they're able to enact their vision. A Whisper of Fall, Jin Yue gameplay trailer and screenshots. It's the first look at the PlayStation China Hero Project action RPG that will be available for the PS5 and PC via Steam. A release date has not yet been announced. It's a martial arts themed action RPG set in ancient China. In the game, use your agility to leap between rooftops and vault over walls, engage in a spectacular martial arts duel with your opponents, and even counter every move. Experience the grudges and emotional entanglements of the Jianghu? A unique world of martial artists. Yikes. Additionally, in the game, you'll be able to use the unique deduction ability to travel through time in each sandbox-style level, retrace different scenarios, and thus experience the distinctive gameplay of overlapping possibilities. It looks pretty freaking neat. And, you know, I've been getting into these Chinese RPGs lately, like they're actually really good. I feel like I've been talking about this game for like years now. This is like the game that never ends. Card and CL Expansion Pass detailed 6th free content update now available, with Gal Guardians and Blaster Master Zero. And along with this free update, there is a Switch 2 version of the game being launched. It has an expansion pass, which is $10, and that will have the downloadable content of Gal Guardians, as well as Blaster Master Zero. Gal Guardians on February the 19th. Blaster Master is on March the 12th. That features new dungeons, cards, events, and more. If you want to purchase them individually, it'll be $5. Both would be $10. There are free updates, though, that don't cost anything, that adds real challenge battles, improved network battles, a new extra dungeon, and more. And it says that each downloadable content pack will add the 2 new dungeons, along with brand new story and voice acting, multiple new cards, new random events, and a new muse. Players will be able to access this content after progressing partway through the main story. Now, if you want to buy the Switch 2 version, it's $30. If you already own the Switch 1 version, you can do an upgrade path for $5. But it is available on the PS5, PS4, Xbox, Switch, and PC. This game looks pretty cool, I've got to say. Action-adventure RPG Emberville launches in early access this summer. Let's read about this. It says, it goes beyond the conventional expectations of similar farm and fight games, with a simple yet deep combat system, an inherited skill leveling system, and challenging boss fights, as well as a new gameplay trailer offering players a glimpse of what to expect. Customization is key in Emberville. From cross-class combat skills to a fully creative building area, players are encouraged to play their own way. Building on the 2-button combat system, Emberville offers a weapon-bound combat system in addition to class-related skills. Unlock new combos for a variety of weapons and chain different attacks to unleash devastating strikes on enemies. Learning skills from leveling multiple classes allows the player to tailor the active combat class for a unique playstyle. It looks like horror, but it's like 2D. It looks like kind of SNES, you know? Like, it actually looks kind of fun. It has like this, like, I guess it's like daytime you do your farming, and then at nighttime you go and you fight and everything. Like, it looks pretty neat. We have a new turn-based RPG called On the Edge coming out for the PC. It says it's a single-player, turn-based RPG, you're speaking my language. Set in the world of the animation of the same name, a release date was not yet announced. It is created by the same production team behind the animation. I've never heard of this animation before. The game features a brand new protagonist and original story while maintaining strong connections with characters from the animation and upholding the core spirit and aesthetics of Wuxia. So, from what I'm seeing, like, I love a good turn-based RPG, and like I said before, I've been playing some of these Chinese RPGs lately, and the more I play them, the more I'm liking them. We have another turn-based RPG. It is called Sonic Terror, announced for the consoles as well as the PC. It's a tactical turn-based RPG where music is magic, and the only weapon against a space alien parasite. It'll be available for PC via Steam with unspecified consoles to follow without a release date we do not yet know. So it says it's set in an alternate universe in 1984, and it puts you in control of an outlaw rock band on tour through a totalitarian republic invaded by body-snatching aliens. The only thing that they're afraid of is music, and you're the last ones to play it. Shape your bandmates' personalities, keep them alive, sober, and inspired, and use their songs as brutal power which blasts the enemy into pieces. Each show is a tactical turn-based battles. No dice rolls and no rhythm gimmicks. Holla frickin' Luya. Ugh. Every time that there's like a musical RPG, it's always like some rhythm sort of thing, and I have no rhythm whatsoever. I cannot do it. Every riff, bass line, and drum spike is a spell, and every victory brings your music closer to salvation. The soundtrack evolves with your success and fades when you falter. The music literally fights back. Seems pretty cool. And we have a delay, and I am a-okay with delays myself. We have so many games to play, like I'm not, chomping at the bit to play this thing. But Dynasty Warriors 3 Complete Edition Remastered has been delayed to an unannounced date and is no longer due out on March the 19th. Whenever it does come out, though, it will be out for the PS5, Xbox, Switch 1, Switch 2, and PC. It says that it's just been postponed, and it says, as the first remaster of the Dynasty Warriors series, in order to fully satisfy our fans, we've made the decision to further improve the quality of the game. Good! That's a good decision! The new release date will be announced at a later date. We appreciate your patience as we take more time before the game releases. You don't want to, as far as I'm concerned, first impressions matter. And if I play a game that is wonky whenever it first comes out, I'm not coming back a month later when they come. Oh, we promise it'll be good this time. No, ma'am. You had your chance and you blew it. So you're better off just delaying it and then, putting out the good game, the quality game that we all want. So that's it for this week's new RPG news. Thank you so much for watching. And again, I will not be here next week. I will be on vacation. I need a vacation. Good Lord. I cannot wait. But I will have some cool stuff for y'all. So do look forward to that. And as always, have a good day.